Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. I am joined today to do an interview with an expert on short squeeze analysis and chart analysis as well. It is, let me show you who I'm talking to today. It is new AI model, ChatGPT 4.0, which has real-time data. It has millions of ways of gathering data. It is smarter than the smartest humans on this planet, and I'm going to be asking it some very significant questions. I'm going to be asking it what it thinks is going to happen to the price of FFIE. I'm going to ask it, is it similar to the GME and AMC saga? What would you, if you are a human, would you be buying FFIE? What do we need for a short squeeze to occur? Is a short squeeze going to occur? So without further ado, let's get straight into the questions. So here we go. I've asked it to be a short squeeze expert. This is a new ChatGPT model. So this is an AI analysis model, which is apparently 100 times better than the previous. No one has done this yet, so let's see what the AI expert has to say about it. I've told it to be to act like a stock expert and a short squeeze analyst. The first question I've asked it: what recent events have contributed to the rise in FFIE's short stock price? It says, recent events have significantly impacted the stock price of Faraday Future Intelligent Electric, FFIE. One major driver is the resurgence of a meme stock mania, which has seen increased interest from retail investors of the 2021 meme stock rally. The return of the prominent social media influencers such as Roaring Kitty has contributed to the surge in activity around stocks with high short interest, including FFIE. It goes on to say FFIE's stock price has also been influenced by the status by its status as a prime target for a short squeeze. It's saying it's a prime target for a short squeeze. The company's short interest is approximately 95% of its float, making it a focus for traders looking to push out short sellers. The dynamic has led to substantial trading volume spikes and significant price volatility, with FFIE shares experiencing a massive increase in trading activity and a sharp rise in stock price. I will be showing you the chart as well throughout this video, and I'll be asking this AI model to give me some further thoughts on the price action. Let's go back to the questions. FFIE's stock price has also been influenced by its status for short squeeze. We have already said that. Additionally, broader market movements and investor sentiment towards electric vehicle stocks have played a role. So it's saying there's a high short interest, 95%. Electric vehicles are causing some hype. It's also saying that because of Roaring Kitty coming back, there is interest there. Let's go on to the next question. I ask it, how significant is FFIE's short interest compared to other heavily shorted stocks, and is it primed for a short squeeze? This is an important question. Let's see what it has to say. It has been searching the web, it has been using its own data, and it's acting like an expert. Let's see what their response is. It's saying it's significantly positioned for a short squeeze, driven by its extraordinary high short interest. Currently, approximately 95% of its float is sold short, making it one of the most heavily shorted stocks in the market. This level of short increase is far higher than many other stocks considered heavily shorted, such as GameStop at 22% and Gardena at 43%. So it's saying it is better positioned because it's much more shorter than GME and Gardena. I'm going to be asking it very interesting questions further into this video. For example, would it buy FFIE, and does it expect to go to $100? If you are enjoying it so far, please do hit a like button. No one is doing this, and I wanted to bring this information to you. So please do hit the like button. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. If we get an additional 500 subscribers from this video, I'll be doing a $100 giveaway for one of you people watching this video. Leave your comments down below, and if we get 500 likes, I will also be doing a part 2 with exactly your questions to be asking ChatGPT, and we can do it live with its voice. Next time we'll do it with its voice. Here we go. Let's continue to the next question. What are the main risks for investors considering FFIE? What percentage chance of it going bankrupt and going near zero? So now I'm asking it, what are the risks, and what percentage chance does it give of going to near to zero? I had to ask this question twice because I didn't fully answer, but here we go. Based on current financial instability and operational challenges faced by Faraday Future, I estimate that there is an approximately 60 to 70% chance that the company could go bankrupt and its stock could drop near to zero. This assessment takes into account their significant financial losses, the lack of meaningful vehicle sales, ongoing operational issues, and the recent approval of major financial reconstructing, which signals severe financial distress. So it is saying there is a 60 to 70% chance it's going bankrupt, but that's fine. If you're expecting a short squeeze, you don't even care about the financial of the company, otherwise you wouldn't be investing. So here we go. My next question is, are there any technical indicators that suggest where FFIE's price might go next? Here we go. Let's see if there's any technicals. This is my job. Let's see if AI is going to put me out of a job. Let's see what it has to say about the chart. Of course, I have also got the chart running by me here right now. It is down 24% today. We have made, if you watched our video on Sunday, we hit nearly 3 of our targets. So we made 61% on our first trade, 95% on the next trade, and we didn't quite make the 149, but we made 113%. It is down 24% today. Are you buying? Let me know in the comments. So here we go. Let's see what it has to say about the technical indicators. Firstly, it says moving averages. The moving averages for FFIE are neutral, indicating no clear trend. And this includes all the moving averages. Same for me, that it is in between moving averages for me, so nothing clear on that for me as well. Then it says relative strength index, the RSI. The RSI is a momentum indicator that measures the speed and chance of price movements. It typically indicates whether a stock is overbought or oversold. However, the specific RSI values for FFIE are not highlighting, suggesting it might be hovering in the neutral range. I will show you exactly where the RSI is. On the daily chart, it is back into, it's not overbought anymore on the daily chart. It is just down here. Let me make it bigger for you guys so you can see exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to RSI. It is not above 70, so it's not overbought. If we go onto the 4-hour time frame, instead of being overbought, it's back into the neutral zone, meaning it can rise up much higher and also come back down. So it's not giving us a clear indication. So ChatGPT is right about that as well. Let's continue. The moving average convergence divergence, the MACD, I will show you that on the chart as well. Let's see what it has to say first. The MACD helps in understanding the momentum of the stock by comparing short and long-term moving averages. It's particularly useful for identifying potential buy or sell signals based on the crossover of these averages. For FFIE, the MACD is not showing strong signals at the moment. Let's go back to my chart and I'll show you what the MACD is saying. The MACD is over here, so let's zoom in on the MACD. 1 second, here we go. This is the MACD. It shows the momentum. Right now, the momentum's for the 4 hours actually against us. It has gone red. On the daily, however, we are still green, and that's what we want. We don't care about the 4 hours. We want to see what happens over the next week or two. Here we go. So yes, ChatGPT is right about that again. It might put me out of a job. Here we go. How does the involvement of retail investors influence FFIE's stock price? This is you guys here. Everyone watching is a retail investor here. Short squeeze dynamics. Retail investors, particularly those active on social media platforms like Reddit and Twitter, often target heavily shorter stocks like FFIE. By collectively buying shares, they create upwards price pressure, forcing short sellers to cover their positions, which drives up the stock price. The phenomenon was notably observed during the meme stock rallies. Yes, we know that. So that's its first answer. Then it says increased trading volumes. Retail investors contribute to higher trading volumes, which can lead to significant spikes due to retail investor activity. This increased liquidity can lead to rapid price movements both upwards and downwards. Let's look at the next one. Market sentiment and hype. Retail investors often trade based on sentiment and hype rather than fundamental analysis. That's what I was saying before. Overall, the involvement of retail investors makes FFIE stock price highly reactive to social media trends, market sentiment, and coordinated trading activities, contributing to its volatility and unpredictability. My next question was, How does FFIE short interest compare to the historic short squeezes? Is this the same as before? Are we following the same trend? It's an important question. I wanted this expert to answer it. Comparison to historic short squeezes. GameStop GME. January 2021, short interest at its peak. GME's short interest was about 140% of its float, so it was significantly more. It was over. It was 140%. The impact, the high short interest led to one of the most famous squeezes, driving the stock price from under $20 to $400 within weeks. AMC. AMC had a short interest of approximately 20 to 30%, and it went from $10 to $70. We are much higher than that, so we can expect higher than a 7x. But remember, times are different. There's not as much money in the people don't have a lot of disposable income right now. And then it gives the example of Volkswagen in 2008, where it had a short interest of much lower, 12.8%, but the squeeze was amplified by Porsche's announcement to increase control over VW. This led to a massive squeeze, going from 200 euros to 1,000 euros. FFIE's position. Compared to these examples, FFIE's short interest is extremely high, suggesting a strong potential for a squeeze. So here we go. The expert is saying there's a strong potential for a squeeze, similar to or even exceeding the impact seen in other historic cases. The combination of the retail investors' interest and extremely high short interest makes FFIE a prime candidate for volatile price movements due to short covering. Remember, this is a ChatGPT model. It can't give financial advice. Just because it's saying it's strong potential for a squeeze doesn't mean it's 100% right. So in conclusion, while FFIE's short interest is lower than GameStop's peak, it's significantly higher than most other notable short squeezes, positioning it potentially for a potentially dramatic price action if the investors continue to target for a short. And that's key. If people give up, it will no longer short. Here's a big question. Many people are very bullish. Explain the road to $10 and $100 and what needs to happen. So at first it was talking about fundamentals, but we don't care because that's not why it will go to $100. This company's going bankrupt, in my opinion. And then I said in terms of short squeeze. So here we go. Road to $10. We need massive buying pressure. We need retail investor activity, a coordinated effort by retail investors, similar to the GameStop and AMC events, could drive FFIE's stock price upwards. Platforms like Reddit, Wall Street Bets could play a crucial role in rallying retail investors to buy and hold FFIE stock. So it needs a lot of retail investments and a coordinated effort. It needs increased trading volumes. Significant increases in trading volumes can exacerbate the squeeze as more shares are bought in quick succession, pushing the price higher. It needs a high short interest. Well, it does. It's got a 95%, as it says. Any upward price movement could force short sellers to cover their position to avoid further losses. The short covering involves buying back borrowed shares, adding to the buying pressure. Remember, that's key, and that's what a short squeeze is. It needs margin calls. As the stock price rises, brokers may issue margin calls to short sellers, forcing them to liquidate their position to meet margin requirements, leading to further buying of FFIE shares. We need positive news or announcement, and we need a lot of social media influence. And the road to $100 is just all of that, but times 10. We need a lot of FOMO, people buying in, and then there'll be a lot of people losing money, for example, if it goes to $100. Reaching $10 or $100 via short squeeze requires a perfect storm of factors: high short interest, massive and sustained buying pressures, market catalyst, and a broader market sentiment. While it is possible, it involves significant risk and volatility. Investors should be cautious and understand that scenarios are highly speculative and can lead to substantial financial losses if the squeeze does not materialize as expected. If you're still here with me, please do hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me your comments down below. What do you want me to ask it next? Here's my next question. Could FFIE's stock reach all-time highs similar to GME and AMC? Again, it's all about the short interest. It's saying again that there is a high short interest, and historically GME and AMC had short squeezes because of their short interest. Then it says retail investors' participation. Both GME and AMC saw massive influx of retail investors. We have that. And catalyst events. Significant news or news events or positive developments can trigger buying frenzies. For GME, the initial rally was fueled by a combination of positive sentiment from prominent figures like Roaring Kitty and strategic moves from the company. FFIE, we need similar catalysts to ignite short squeeze, such as successful product launches, strategic partnership, or notable financial improvements. I'll add to this, it needs Roaring Kitty to say buy FFIE, and of course it will go to $10 and $100. Market condition sentiment. Let's move on to the next question. Let's just read its conclusion. While it's theoretically possible for FFIE to experience a dramatic rise similar to GME and AMC through a short squeeze, it will require a confluence of high short interest, coordinated retail investor activity, positive catalysts, and favorable market conditions. Those are the big four you need. Here's my next question. Are we following the same trajectory compared to past GME short squeeze, or is it different this time? I want to see, are we following the same thing? Do we have the perfect storm like last time? Here are the similarities it replied with. High short interest. Both FFIE and GME have had high short interest, which is a crucial factor for a short squeeze. FFIE short interest is around 95% of its float, similar to GME's short interest. Retail investor involvement. We now have retail investment involvement. Speculative trading. Yes, they both have it. Here are the differences. Business fundamentals. GME had an underlying business change, such as new management and a pivot towards e-commerce, that provided a narrative for a potential recovery. FFIE, on the other hand, faces significant operational and financial challenges, including low production, sales, and figures, making its fundamental outlook weaker to GME. Remember, it needs the perfect storm. It needs some good news about the company, not that it matters for the short squeeze, but it matters for that good news. Retail investors see good news and they start FOMOing because they think that good news will lead to a short squeeze. Market conditions are different. The broader market conditions during GME's squeeze included a high level of liquidity and retail trading activity, partially fueled by pandemic-related economic factors, while current market conditions still see active retail participation. They might not be as uniquely supportive as during the height of the pandemic. And here's the last issue: regulatory environment. The aftermath of the GME squeeze led to increased scrutiny and regulatory focus on the market manipulation and the activities of retail investors on social media. This heightened awareness and potential regulatory interventions could impact the extent to which FFIE can follow a similar trajectory. So there are the differences. There are key differences. So it might not squeeze as much as you think, and it might go straight to zero. Is there any insider information or market sentiment that can hint at FFI's future movement? Is there insider information? Let's see if the AI expert knows of any insider information. Insider trading activity. Recent investors' insider activity indicates mixed signals. Some executives have purchased their shares, which can be seen as a sign of confidence. However, there have also been significant sales. For instance, CEO Matthias and top executives made notable stock purchases earlier, while insiders have sold shares in different instances. Market sentiment. We've already know about the market sentiment. Let's move on to my next. Let's just read the conclusion. Overall, while investors' activities provide mixed signals, the current market sentiment remains speculative, with a strong focus on the potential for a short squeeze. Investors should closely monitor both insider transactions and the broader market trends when considering FFI's future movements. This is my next question. How can investors protect themselves from the volatility of a potential short squeeze? Diversification, position sizing, limit exposure, stop loss orders. Remember, if it does suddenly go down, the stop loss orders cannot trigger. Monitor market conditions, option strategies, hedging with options, avoid over leveraging, limit the use of margin, risk assessment, professional advice, consult financial advisors. And here's another question: GME versus AMC versus FFIE. What's got the most short potential? Now it looks at all three. GME, it gives us some information on the 20 to 30% short of the shorted float, historical performance, market sentiment. You can pause and read this as well. I'll give you the conclusion. High short squeeze potential. Based on current short interest, FFIE has the highest potential for a short squeeze due to its extraordinarily high short interest ratio. However, this comes at a significant risk due to its weaker business fundamentals compared to GME and AMC. Comparative risk. GME and AMC have substantial short interest and potential for future squeezes, but their relatively stronger business fundamentals and established retail investor bases provide somewhat more stability. Investors should weigh in the high short squeeze potential of FFIE against the substantial risks with its financial instability. My next question. What other stocks are primed for a short squeeze? Let's move away from FFIE. Does it see anything else? Gardena, 43% of its float is shorted. A lot of volatility, high trading volume. Microvision, MVIS, around 25% of its float is shorted. Despite its operational losses, the company's recent revenues growth added to a speculative interest. Revolve Group, RVLV, 49.6% is shorted. Then we've got ATMU, 51% of its float is shorted. Then we've got CELH, 22% of its float is shorted. Remember, this is got investments from PepsiCo, so it's got strong financial performance. So it's got that strong financial performance, and it's got a lot of shorts on it. Then we've got Riot Blockchain. We're going to ask it one more question, I think. I'm going to go back to my notes and see if we can ask it another question for us. Let's ask it this question as well. I'm going to ask it two more questions. One is, can the... I want to ask it if the earnings make this stock squeeze. Because the earnings call is coming up, we are covering it live. You can have a look at the live on this YouTube channel, will be there. Here we go, positive earnings impact. If there's a higher than expected revenue or profit, this could lead to a rapid increase in stock price. Positive guidance, operational milestones, market reaction, analyst upgrades, that will be great for it. Increased trading volume, a lot of people are going to be trading on earnings. And past instances, GME positive earnings and strategic shifts contributed to its substantial interest and periodic short squeezes. So that's one example of the past. And AMC earnings reports indicate a recovery from the pandemic, and increased theatre attendance helps sustain high retail interest. So if we have good news, the short squeeze can continue. And let's ask its final question. Imagine you are a risk-loving young man with some play money you don't need. Would you buy FFIE as a risk-to-reward play for its short squeeze potential, and what price would you sell? Let's see what it says. It says it gives us the catalyst, volatility, entry price. Let's see if we'll buy it. Current price, given the speculative nature of the play, buying at this price where you see potential upside based on recent trading patterns and market sentiment. For instance, if FFI is trading around 150, this could be an entry point considering recent volatility. So it's getting in at 150. Where is it selling? It's selling at 5, 10, and the final price it's selling is at $15 to $20. As a speculation, high risk, high reward play, buying FFIE for its short squeeze potential can be enticing if you're willing to accept the inherent volatility and risks. Setting clear entry and exit points and closely monitoring market conditions are crucial to managing the speculation. Let's give it one more question. What percentage chance of reaching $10? One answer, please. Okay, excuse my spelling there. Let's see what. I would estimate there is approximately 20 to 30% chance of FFI reaching $10. That is much higher than I was expecting. So The AI model is on the side of the people looking for a short squeeze. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button. Let me know what questions I should ask it next. I'll be putting my chart analysis about here. It went very viral. It had all the points. It is still valid. So that chart analysis will be here. The playlist for FFIE will be here, and there'll be more links above around here. Leave me your thoughts in the comments, and also check the comment section where my technical chart analysis is. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.